Today I'm talking with Brad. He's my husband. In my previous video, I mentioned how we're building a business together called Anatomy Brad, where Brad teaches students how to learn anatomy in a simple way, and I do all the back end stuff for that business. I want you to hear from him, especially if you are a reluctant entrepreneur, because that's what I call him, or you're someone who's thinking, I can't start a business for whatever reason. It might be fear you don't know enough, fear that no one's going to buy your stuff, or you don't know who to sell to. And if that's you, I have a free custom GPT in the description. It is called Digital Business Roadmap, and it will help you get some of those questions answered on who to sell to, what to sell, and it gives you a 90-day plan on getting your business up and running. So check it out in the description. I thought it would be interesting just to hear how Brad got started and what finally pushed him to get online. So let's get into it. So Brad, why don't you tell people a little bit about your background, what you do for your day job, and how long you've been teaching?
My daytime job, I work for public health, but going through my education, I got the opportunity to teach a lab for anatomy part-time just as I was going through my degree. And so it just continued on as a part-time position that I have for my own for a local community college. And so I teach anatomy 2 times a week, and I've been teaching the same class for about 24 years now. And it's mostly students that are getting into like a medical field, specifically nursing or cardiovascular technicians, x-ray technicians, some type of health field.
And you love it. You love the teaching.
Yeah. I mean, even though anatomy doesn't change, what I like is the students change. So every semester it's a new project of how do we make the students understand the material and get them through it and lower their stress, juggling all the things in their life to get them through a 16-week course.
And did you ever think about starting a business or getting online? Brad started on TikTok first,
Yeah.
and then started posting on YouTube.
Yeah, I never just considered it just because I've seen the work you put in, and then I'm working a full-time job plus teaching, family and life and things get in the way. So I've never thought, let me tack on something else to what I've already been.
Yeah, you're pretty maxed out.
Yeah.
But what or when did you decide to start posting? What was
Well,
the story behind
it's almost been a year. So we started in November 2024. And mostly because of Joanne pushing me to say there's an opportunity here to reach out to other people besides just your 130 student class. And I would have multiple students ask me, am I on TikTok, YouTube? And I'd say, no, I don't have time for that. But I realized that I don't really have office hours. So that's when it started to click a little bit. Well, maybe I should get into this.
Also, we're thinking about retirement and what comes after, like your career.
Yeah.
And this is just another thing that we could add on to that.
And I want to keep teaching part-time and hopefully just continue with anatomy, but this was an opportunity to kind of extend that out besides just my class.
What was the first video experience like for you? Were you nervous, excited, both?
Yeah, I didn't know what to say. I think I was walking around the house trying to find different things, a way to present myself. And then I remember you came home and like, what are you doing? Like, we need to set you up in front of a camera. And it was really difficult to just start right away. I think part of the experience is going through COVID and talking to the computer when we were isolated at home. So that did help a little bit, but it's a little bit different once you start talking, just that it's going to go outside to the entire world, possibly.
Yes. And it's also hard just to talk, like even right now, like you're just staring.
Yeah, to get started and get in the groove.
Practice.
Yes.
Did you think of it as starting a business at that point, or was it more just sharing content for fun?
Uh, I had the goal of starting to think that I could maybe have additional income from this, but it still was like a long way out because starting out with how do I get the information out from an anatomy standpoint seemed a little difficult.
What do you mean by that? Like,
Well, I have all the models at school, so trying to be able to present that by way of like videos and then the different types, because you have TikTok, it's different than YouTube and different platforms, you have to present it differently.
it's different processes, which I'll show in one of my next videos, I'm talking about getting started on YouTube, and one of the videos is our process. So I'll show the process of Anatomy Brad on how everything comes about from he does use a slide, and we record the computer screen. So I'll show that process in that video. So did you ever see yourself as a business owner or entrepreneur before this? Like, did you ever think you'd be a business owner?
No, and I still don't. But I feel like mm, she's the owner. I just said just like the contributor to the process. Like there's a lot of I still don't understand. I just sit in front of the camera and talk about anatomy, and then you
They magically appear online.
right.
Well, Brad does handle all the TikTok. I don't do TikTok. I do edit the videos,
Yeah.
but you record them, I edit, and then you're posting online and you're conversing with people who ask you questions.
Yeah. It's a balance to try to do multiple times.
And I think, in my next video, I said, I do not like the forward facing. I don't like this is like uncomfortable for me. This is not my favorite part. I'm definitely better on the back end, but I'll show you that you can do it as a one person business because he's just doing one aspect of it, and you can do that too. How does it feel now, though, being in this role of creator educator online instead of just in the classroom?
It's still keeping the momentum. To me, it's like analogous to working out. You got to keep going to the gym and keep it going. If you kind of slow down, it's hard to get back into it. But once you start and regroup and continue with the videos, it's helpful to just create a momentum to it.
So being consistent-ish is what I like to call it, because it's easier than stopping, which I think it's inevitable.
And some days the videos are nice and smooth, and other days I want to hit the television. Or it's like when
You want to
computer. It's like, come on.
Yes, it does take some time. I don't know why I said that. It is hard sometimes.
It is.
What's been the biggest surprise for you since starting?
I think the biggest surprise is being able to actually get this out to people and people saying they do appreciate it and it's helpful to them. And they'll say that this helps them beyond just their own classroom. And really, I look at it, that's the ultimate goal for me is be able to support students, that are in different parts of the country and the world that are struggling with this in their own classroom. And then if it adds to more of the entrepreneur part of it, then great.
And I think that's the biggest thing is just be helpful to people, and you have a business when you can add value to someone who's willing to pay for that value.
Yeah, for sure.
So what are your goals? What are your goals with Anatomy Brad? Where do you hope this goes?
Well, we've created study guides out of the videos. What I've learned is just having an audience is not enough as far as like if you're going to actually produce an income for this, unless your stuff truly goes like viral. Other than that, like I've had thousands of followers, but you need to have something to where like they have some content to use. And it's really the study guides from art so that we have a product associated with this that you would purchase that would continue to help them beyond my video.
I think it's really hard just to be a content creator, especially like when you're first starting out. It takes time, and you can earn an income right away if you think of something else to sell, which is what I'll talk about. And that was the study guides for us, because Brad's big goal, I did mention, was to get monetized on TikTok, because that's when you make money, but you don't make a lot of money.
No.
You need more views.
Yeah. You need, again, if you went like viral, right? Or there was something, but that would have to be consistent.
Right.
You have to come up with a product. And you see on these platforms that they're selling products, but I'm looking to sell my own products, what we've created that help with the videos that we created.
Yeah.
Not just sell some random.
Yes. So I recommend just coming up with a small digital product first, which is what we did. And those are the study guides. And then from there, we can think about other things. So another thing that we're going to sell is a custom GPT with all the information. And then I don't know where it's going to take us from there, but we'll see.
She has plenty of ideas.
Yes. Too many. If I, and probably you too, if all of the ideas came to life, we would be set. Like, think about the ideas that you come up with and then years pass and you never did it. And you think, if I would have just done that 2 years ago. So, whatever idea you have now, figure out how to bring that to life and just try it. And if it doesn't work, pivot. It's okay to pivot, but at least you've tried it, and once you get going, you can decide, like, is this for me? Do I like it? Do I have a passion for this? Is it easy? I don't even think you have to have a passion for it. I do think you have a passion for anatomy, which makes it a lot easier and you're very knowledgeable. But I would say what comes easy to you right now. Start with that, and that could um start start with that, and that could lead to you financing your passion. What impact do you want your content to have on students or anyone learning anatomy? I think you did touch on this already.
Yeah, I look at my impact. If we're selling the study guides, which is relatively cheap in my opinion, it's meant to be accessible. If more and more of those are selling, I look at that as success, not only for us, but I look at it as we're actually reaching out to people that find this useful.
Yes. And not only just online, but your students as well.
Yeah, they're always asking, "Is the next study guide coming out?" I'm like, "Well,
Sure.
it's a while."
You didn't get that done this week. What's been the hardest part so far? I don't know if you said that already.
It's being consistent.
Okay.
Yeah, because I would batch, say, 6 topics and do 6 videos and then not do any for a couple weeks, and then it's just hard to get back into it again. That it's better to have I'm like a roadmap and a game plan for it to plan out what am I going to do next. So I had to do this past week. Okay, I have 9 videos right now that I want to
Mm-hmm.
produce and get out, but it's taking the time to do it.
And there's also tricks that you can do to help you during the lulls when you have content already. So, for example, he Brad has already recorded a ton of videos, and during the lull, I just use his TikTok videos as shorts that lead him to lead people to the current videos because again, being in a unique situation with anatomy, the body doesn't change, anatomy doesn't change, and so the content can be repurposed. Another, trick that I do is, uh, put all of the videos together. So if you have shorter videos that are on the same topic, you can put them together to make a longer form video. I learned that from somebody else. I don't know who it was,
And
but
you've
it's
done
really
the
funny.
opposite. You've taken long videos and made shorts.
Yes, exactly. What have you learned about yourself and about content creation since you started? Nothing. You learned nothing. Nothing.
I've learned that there's a lot I don't know about this.
Oh,
There's a lot of little pieces, even just your setup is important and how you have the camera and the lighting and how you present it on the screen. There's a lot to it that it takes a while for me to understand.
and you don't do a lot of that stuff.
Nay.
Because he has me. But that's okay. That's okay. You can learn it. But you would learn it if you didn't have me. Do
I
you
have
think?
to. It would take a little time. Yeah, it'd be a little bit more of a challenge.
I think we just make a good team. For those who are thinking about posting their knowledge online or hopefully making a business out of it, what advice would you give them?
Again, I would plan it out on what's your time frame and stick to the time frame if you can, because it's when you start to do something. Oh, I don't have time for this, right? If you create a roadmap for it, I think it's easier because you dedicate time. It's almost like you have a calendar with different appointments to it that you schedule things and then work it out and then think about what are your like short-term goals and then your long-term goals, because we started out, let's just put out videos and see what happens, and then we got better with the videos, some we redid later on.
Mhm.
And then you start to think, okay, now that I've gained more of an audience, what else can I provide to them?
And I would say, so you're talking about blocking out the time and sticking with it. And I would say just start. So if you want to create content, just start recording, even if it's not something that's going to go out into the world. Just get comfortable being on camera and then just post it. Because in the beginning, it's all about building those creative muscles and becoming consistent.
Sometimes the videos don't come out the way you want. And I've
Mm.
had some that are like that to my in my mind, it's like this is not very useful. And they turn out to be
Mhm.
something that people grab onto. And I was like, I don't know why. The other ones were better.
Right. Don't be afraid to
Just
post
put it
it.
out there. No matter what, people judge you, whether it's a camera.
The best video, and people are just like, "What shirt are you wearing?" Like, "Well, where's my shirt?"
Right. Or my dog was snoring in the background and they're asking me about that rather than the
Right.
actual topic.
Yeah. So just post it. Just post it. Not everybody's gonna love what you have, but there are gonna be people who are gonna find you.
Yeah.
I love working with you.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
It's not even been a year. It's been a lot of production.
Yeah, my biggest surprise is that we've we're selling something. like
That people want.
yeah,
And we're trying to do it as cheap as possible because
very
it's not
meaningless.
meant to we're not going to make millions, but I just wanted to make it just a little side piece, but at the same time, we're helping somebody. I think it makes it a little bit more easier to do.
It does versus just doing it all for the money. And there's nothing wrong with making money. Like we all have to make money. That's how you're going to live.
Right.
But doing it in a way that I wouldn't say like ethically, but doing it in a way to where you're giving back.
Yeah. And if you're not, and that's not your gig, then it's not your gig. Do something else.
That's right. Pivot. Oh, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you want to follow along, hit subscribe. I'm going to be showing the behind the scenes of not only Anatomy Brad, but of my own personal business. But I'll show the processes for Brad as well. Anatomy Brad. It's just weird calling you Anatomy Brad. If you are someone who wants to start a business but don't know where to start, check out the free custom GPT in the description below. And I'll see you in the next video.
See ya.
I think that's it.
Did it?
Yes. Thank you so much.
There was a couple times where I think I lowered my volume, but then okay, right.
Okay, I can fix it in editing. I don't know. I always feel awkward, but just like I said, just post it. Who cares?
Yeah.